Hello, Las Vegas, and welcome to another edition of Golf at the Park, Angel Park Golf Club's weekly interview show. I want to thank you for tuning in, commenting, liking, and most importantly, subscribing to our channel. That makes it where every week we're going to pop up automatically in your YouTube feed. We really appreciate it. We're still giving away free buckets of balls and rounds on Cloud 9 for the best and most favorite comments, so continue to do that. We really appreciate it. I've been excited for this show for not as long as I am normally when I get a guest because this was booked recently. But Jimmy Tropicana is our guest on the show today. Jimmy.
Hello, Jedrick.
Thank you for coming in. Really excited. Jimmy is the owner, founder of Tropicana Golf Club and Barbershop. We're going to tell you a little bit more about what that is in a bit. But they just opened a chapter here in Las Vegas. And so I was thinking in terms of the show that I would get a couple of the guys on first before we got to the top dog. And I just ran the idea by Jimmy, and he was gracious enough to jump right on. So we're starting at the top, and I'm really excited about that. Jimmy, this show is really easy. We're going to just talk about your golf story. But since your golf story only starts about 10 years ago, why don't you give us just a little bit of background on you and your, if you were athletic, probably most importantly, because we have some contrasts between sports. Tell me a little bit about your background.
So I played, the sports that kids play. I was soccer, and then I played baseball for a long time. Played baseball in high school. And then after high school, I just stopped playing altogether. I stopped playing everything. It was done. I was done. And I started playing music, and it went really well, and it went really fast, just like Tropicana has. And I started a cover band, and we'd wear costumes and this and the other, and all of a sudden, it started out as just a monthly thing, and then it was a weekly thing, and then it was 3 times a week, and then it was a nightly thing. So we played all over Los Angeles, in every club, everywhere, and then we found a nightclub, or they found us, called Beecher's Madhouse. Started here in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock. And Beecher's like a celebrity nightclub. And we started playing all over LA and all the celebrity parties, and Paris Hilton and Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry, and we played. Finally,
what was the name of the band?
Saved by the Band. It's a 90s cover band.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we did that for almost 15 or 18 years almost. And then when I turned 30, my friend invited me to the driving range. And I liked it. And I was like, yeah, I remember going to the driving range as a kid. And nobody in my family played golf. Golf wasn't a thing, really. I mean, my dad would watch Lee Trevino and Chichi Rodriguez, and I was more interested in their fashion at that point. 80s, early 90s golf fashion was peak. Like that's when I get dressed in the morning, I go, would Lee wear this? Would Chichi wear this?
I love it.
That's my jam. Like I love that. So that was my only exposure to golf then. So then I started playing at 30, and my friends and I collectively started together. And we would go out and we would play golf. And it was really, we would drink and then play golf while we were drinking. But I liked it. I liked the game, and I was like, I don't want to come out here and suck. So I started actually like practicing, and I would go to the driving range, and they wouldn't, they didn't care. So
it started out super social, just drinking pals.
Drinking, yeah.
But then you, not necessarily for a lack of or a desire to be competitive, you just didn't want to be bad. You wanted to improve your own game.
Yeah, I thought I'm out here for 5 hours, and I can't figure out how to do this. And to me, that was a very big thing that like I can't figure this out.
Right.
And it was upsetting to me. So like I put some time in and figured it out. And then I just got fully involved in it. And I would be out in the summer from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. playing all day and walking. And I would just, but I would walk onto the golf course, not pay, just over and over and over. And finally I made friends with the marshals and the greenskeepers and all the guys, and then they would just let me on. But for as much as I was playing, I would spend $1,000 a week playing golf. So
Right.
I didn't want to do that. So I would just walk on, and finally I started helping them doing things. And I don't know, I just found a way in.
Found a lane.
Yeah. And so those same friends that I started with were not evolving as fast because, you know, they had families and jobs and lives, and they didn't care to be, you know, good. Not that I'm
Right,
good,
right.
but better. It was still a drinking event for them, which is awesome. I love that. So I just ran out of people to play with because they weren't able to play as much, and now I was playing all the time. And the two guys that I would play with, one had a job and the other one had a family. So I was like, dude, I need more people to play with. And that's when this idea went off to like, maybe I should start a club and then I'll have more people
And find
to play
guys
with.
to play with.
Yeah. So that's the golf lead up until 2018. So it started in 2013, and for 5 years I was in that grind of like, I got to figure out the game. I learned all about the game. I went back, like I went all the way back and learned everything about the game before I learned about the current game. As not so much the current game, but I learned about the game before I learned how to play the game. Like I was engulfed in golf.
And it sounds like you were self-taught. Were you taking lessons?
I never took a lesson. I've worked with 3 people for 1 lesson each, but I don't know what it is. Like, I'll take a lesson with them and they go, "Okay, you're good," and I'm like, "So, yeah, just do those little things and you'll be fine."
Were you trying to mock your swing after the guys from the '80s that you were?
Well, I mean, Trevino's swing to me is something that makes sense to me. It's almost like a baseball swing. You know, he really clears his hips, and I see the golf course on the left side. I hate the right side of the golf course, but I want to hit it on the right side. So I started on the left and then cut it back. Like, that's good to my eye. So I went after Trevino's for a long time. The only thing with Trevino's swing is that it rips my back, you know? So it's really, really tough. And then lately, just recently, I've really figured out that I have the swing. And I think most people have the swing. But it's just this violent effort to hit the ball instead of swing the club. So now, before I get up, I take a couple practice swings, and I go, that's exactly how I'm going to hit the ball. I no longer hit the ball. I just swing the club.
That's cool. So 13 to 18, you're doing that, and so 18 is when you start the idea of forming your own club.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
how do you go about starting to do that?
Well, I started it. So this is not 13 years old. This is 2013, the year 2013. Okay, so 2013 to 2018, I'm just out there just learning everything about the game and learning about myself and the game and how we come together. And then in 2018, I thought to myself, I need to put a business model behind golf. I'm doing it so much, and that's almost how the music thing happened too. I was doing it so much, and I was playing 14 hours a day in my room, and I was like, I got to make some money on this, or I got to like put myself into an environment of let's further this. So I said to myself, what can I start? So I had a barber at the time that I would go see, you know, every 2 weeks, and I loved him. He was a great barber, and the barber shop was terrible. They had these giant TVs, and the music was blasting. And I was like, dude, can we turn this down? Like, I want to relax and like get my hair cut and just chill and have a beer. He's like, the owner wants it. So they had 4 TVs, and all 4 TVs are blasting, and they're all different things. And then they have music on top of it. I was like, dude, this is a disaster. So I said, I'm not going to try to fix this guy's shop. I'm just going to make my own. And mind you, I know nothing about barbering or owning a barbershop or anything of the sort.
But you just wanted to make a cool barbershop.
And I figured I'm not going to change this guy's. I'm just going to make my own, you know? So I said, let me find some barbers. And luckily I found the 3 greatest barbers in San Gabriel Valley. And I opened a barbershop. And I said, this is a big space. I'm going to put a golf simulator in here. And then some brands reached out and they said, hey, can we put some clothes in the barbershop? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. So I dedicated one side as a fully functional barbershop, and then the other side is golf apparel, golf equipment, driving range, little putting green. I mean, it's a barbershop first, for sure, but there's a golf influence there, and I got, photos and all kinds of stuff of the everything. Trevino, Chi-Chi, Sinatra, Dean Martin. Like, it's my perfect.
It's your vibe.
It's my perfect place. You
Yeah.
know, it really is. And the irony of the entire thing is I started a barbershop because I needed to get haircuts regularly in a place that I loved, and now I can't get a haircut because it's so busy. I have to make an appointment 3 weeks in advance.
That's hilarious. And I knew there was a barbershop tie, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's the beginning of the club's name. So you start a club out of that because there's guys that gravitate more to both. Even if they're getting a haircut, they're going to go check out the golf stuff.
Yeah, they love the golf. And I have this giant sign. It's 15 to 20 feet long. It says GOLF, and it hangs in almost in the window. So you're driving down Route 66 in Glendora, and you see this giant sign, and it attracts people's eyes. Like, is that what? It's golf? And there's people cutting hair, and they're like, what? So they come in, and they're like, is this a golf? And they're just inquisitive, and they want to know. And I'm talking people from all over the world come in here. It's unbelievable.
Well, you're a huge presence in the social media world that we're going to get to in a minute. So you start a club, just guys, and you're booking groups to go play at different courses.
Yeah.
You're just putting together events, right?
Yep.
Hey, let's go do this.
Yep.
And so when does that turn into a social media thing, a digital brand?
Well, the first couple events I had 12 guys, that just knew from the barbershop. And those 12 guys, I mean, 8 of those 12 guys were at an event I had yesterday, So like it's the longevity, and it's the dedication, and it's the camaraderie that these guys love. And, I can create an idea or an event, but if nobody goes, what's the point? So this club it's not me, the club is the guys, and these guys are loyal, and they are dedicated, and it's unbelievable. I mean, I got guys that have the Tropicana tattoo, the logo tattooed on their body, and I'm like, dude, that is amazing,
Yeah, well, you guys just opened a chapter here in Las Vegas,
Right.
Tropicana Golf Club and Barbershop, Las Vegas. Chris Torres is the guy who's put that together. We've been waiting to get him on the show. Chris
And Mr. Nasty Nahani.
and Kevin Nahani, who I've already been asking for a few weeks now to be on the show.
Too expensive.
We'll get to him. There's a couple of guys that I want to at least mention and ask questions about, but so content-wise, though, because do you do all of the content, your stuff yourself?
Yeah.
So how do you choose how to direct those pieces, film them, edit them? What's your process?
So here's the craziest part of this entire ride is, even as a child, I was always surrounded by characters. And not that these guys are characters, they're real life characters. And somehow, some way, I've always been in a circle with people that produce a show without even knowing it. I mean, I have so many guys in this club that are just characters.
Yes.
And it's unbelievable. And it's like characters attract other characters. And this is a giant, to me, I'm not really a character. I wake up every day and go, let's just watch the show. And that's what this is. And there's so many people that want to be part of that show, and they don't even know that they're characters, that they're going to be in the show. And it's incredible. I mean, even from my band days, that's when I really saw it. I'd have these musicians, and musicians are insane.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, you are nuts. And they would just always be around. And then to go back to this gentleman, Beecher, that you'll see, I worked for him for a lot of years, and he produced this crazy vaudeville show. I mean, he had giants, he had little people, he had goats and monkeys.
It was a circus.
It was a circus. And I would see how he would produce this show very loosely, just letting people do what they just naturally do. And it just worked. Like he would just put him on stage and go. and the people would lose it. And I said, okay, I don't have to do much because these people are already tied into what they like to do and how they do it. So there's no editing or crafting or I'm going to set this up. It's just like, here you go. I'm just going to kind of be over here and point the camera. And they just take off. It's unbelievable. It's insane how there's so many people that are just naturally talented and they don't even know it.
It's awesome to me because what I've been doing with this show is following different people and influencers and wanting to get them on to hear their stories. And so, yeah, let's start with a couple of them. Let's start with Kevin Nahani because he's going to be out here today playing. Yeah. So we'll be out on the course with him later. Tell us how you met Kevin and how that relationship started.
So Nahani joined the club, and I believe that he is an old friend of Thick Gabagool.
I was going to ask you about him next.
So these two guys, I met them together at the same time. And Nahani is just this persona of, I don't know, he's great. You know, he's just great. So you put those two guys together and it's a wild show. But here's the deal. They're not actively characters. Like they're normal dudes.
Yeah, they're being their most fun and crazy selves.
Exactly.
And they love to play golf.
Yes.
They want to be out on the golf course
Yes.
together too,
Yeah.
which is neat.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Kevin's, the biggest one I know about, the Macallan 12. I don't even think you were there with them that day, were you?
I shot that
Oh,
thing.
you did shoot that.
And it was just that. I was sitting in the golf cart, and you can tell, and I like zoom in with my fingers, you know, like it's just very raw. And it's 7:15 in the morning, and we're at Prim Valley. We started at 7, so we're 2 holes in, and I just look over, and he's just tugging this Macallan 12, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, bro, it's 7:15 a.m. on a Tuesday. What are you doing? But then I was like, no, this is awesome. So I go, what are you drinking? And then he did
that.
12.
Yeah, he did it in a very pronounced accent.
And I didn't even think that, you know, I personally thought it was funny. I mean, I laugh all day long with that guy. And the best stuff he's ever done is not on film.
Right.
But I was genuinely laughing with it. And then I just said, hey, I'm just going to put it up because I think it's funny. Whatever it goes on that page, I think it's funny. And if you don't, that's fine. You know, I don't care. But I think that most people have a similar sense of what's funny, obviously, because this thing is worldwide.
Well, let's talk about it. How many views and likes did that? I mean, it went crazy.
Well, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
too,
now everybody's sharing. I mean,
there's
you can't find the original.
Yeah, the original is on the Tropicana page, but everybody's taken it. Everybody's shared it. I think on just Tropicana's, I mean, I don't monitor these numbers, but I think it's over 10 million. So I assume that with, you know, Zaire Golf and all this thing, it's probably 50 to 75 million people have seen this 12-second clip of him just tugging the bottle, and they love it. Yep. They love it. They love that he's drinking out of the bottle, and they love that he makes a reference of 15 is too expensive. And, like, I didn't know 15 was more. I mean, I guess I kind of knew 15 was more expensive, but why is it too expensive?
Right.
You know, like, what the hell's the difference? So, yeah, it's just little things like that explode. Yesterday, I just took one of Gabagool eating a breakfast croissant, and he's just eating his breakfast croissant the way that he eats it with a giant bottle of ketchup. And every bite is an entire packet of ketchup.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
It's hilarious.
It's just the way he eats, but I think it's great. So I filmed that and I put it up. And then who knows, you know, in 3 weeks, somebody's going to find it and go, this is amazing.
This is so funny.
So it's nothing premeditated. I don't script anything and say, sit down, we're going to do it like this, because that doesn't work. It's just, I just happen to have my phone and I go, I love this. I think this is hilarious. I'm going to film it. And I put it up. And it's weird because it's a golf page. And the biggest videos of all time have nothing to do with golf.
Well, right. I want to talk a little bit about your golf that you kind of do, just because your content, you talk about the swing and what's important and facing your hips towards the target. And
yeah,
I mean, you've got your stuff that you do
Yeah.
tend to be almost educational, instructional.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Like the whole golf Instagram instructor is a separate world that I think it's funny. You know, I think it's funny that they're so damn serious.
Yeah.
You know, you need to do it. And that's how this entire Manolo thing started too.
Well, that's who I was going to get to.
Because I was like, bro, what the little advice that you just gave me right there is so funny, but so useful, you know. And for a long time, this was 15 years ago, I guess, I was just grinding on this swing and I had so many thoughts and so much nonsense. And he's just like, just whackle the and then smack the out of it. And I was like, yeah, what the hell am I doing? So my tips now are for these guys. And the thing is, I see so many golfers, so many. I see more golfers than an instructor sees because I play with 15, 20, 35 people a day, you know, through the club. So I see all these different swings and they're all different, but they're all similar in the fact that, you know, if I throw you a ball, you stick up your hand and you catch it. You don't think about the rotation of your hand. And you're trying to think about that while you're swinging. Get out of here. It's not going to happen. You know, just swing the gam. Just swing it.
Yeah.
And be okay with it. And I see that and I'm trying to portray that in a sense of like, stop whatever you're doing and just do what you do naturally. You're okay. You know, you're just talking yourself out of a good golf swing. So that's the big thing in the way I do it. And I'm not an instructor, nor am I really very good at golf. But
well, I was just interested.
I'm learning it.
Yeah, I was interested because I only knew the guys before I knew you, and so that was fun. Let's talk about Manolo because he's kind of turned into his own brand and superstar now. I saw him at the Masters.
Oh no, he's Manolo's going to be. Golf was his gateway of what Manolo is supposed to be doing. Manolo is super talented in various things.
How'd you guys meet?
So, a friend of mine that went to high school with me moved to Spain. And comes back and he goes, dude, you got to meet this guy that I met in Spain. I go, not interested. He goes, no, he's super funny and super fun and this and the other. I go, all right, well, what do you want me to do? Go to Spain and meet this guy? So he goes, he's coming to Vegas. I mean, he's coming to L.A. He's coming to L.A. Next week. I go, okay. What do you want me to do? You know, I'm going to go just stand there and watch him? He goes, let's take him somewhere. I go, oh, okay, where do you want to take him? He goes, let's take him to Vegas. So we pick him up at the airport, and this dude is just a show from the second he gets in the car. He's just partying and this and the other, and he's just got this presentation and this way with people that it's just this, people just want more and more and more. So we did the Vegas thing, and he ended up hanging out with Sammy Sosa that night. It's just people gravitate to him. It doesn't matter if you are a celebrity or a regular person, you're getting the same treatment from Manolo, and people love that. So long story short, he goes back to Spain, and then he comes back a couple years later, and he hits me up, and he goes, hey, let's play some golf. I go, all right. So we start playing golf 2-3 times a week.
And he loves to play at this point, or is he?
Oh, no. He loves it. Yeah, he's been playing his whole life. And so he's teaching me little things in his way. And I'm like, dude, this is really good. Like, this is before filming was a thing. And I'm spinning my wheels of like, I wish more people could see this. And then Instagram comes along, and I'm like, dude, let's film some YouTube stuff. And he's like, no. I go, come on, little clips. No. And they're gonna laugh at me. They're gonna laugh at me. I go, yeah, it's okay though. It's funny. No.
Wow.
You won't even have an account.
That's super interesting.
So then finally I convince him. I go, listen, I have Tropicana, the club now. These guys need some tips. Will you help them? Will you help me? So now we have a in-house pro. Like, will you help me? He's like, okay, I'll do some tips. So we do some tips for the Tropicana guys only. And we put them on YouTube, and it's like all hidden and this and the other. So I'm sending it out to the guys, and they're like, dude, that Manolo guy's great. So he's coming to the tournaments, and he's helping people and this and the other. And then we make a couple videos. I just sneak them in there. and just boom.
Rocket fire.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
So one of the things that I saw him do recently was at the U.S. Open, another major he was at, and a kid comes up to him and says, I was really hoping I'd see you here. And he takes a full minute with this kid, and he says, listen to your poppy, right? Like it's Father's Day, and it was so cool the way he did that. And you could tell it wasn't as dialed up, but it's not shtick either. Like that's actually his personality and his character.
I stick a microphone on him, and I stand about 40 yards away, and I just film. And the best one of the day, I haven't even put it out yet. Wait till you see that one. That kid was good. The other one's better.
Oh, wow.
I'm just waiting for it because it's been a while. So I want to space it out so it doesn't look. But that kid was great. I mean, he genuinely lit up. And nobody saw the camera because I hide in the people. And, everybody's got their cameras out, so nobody really knows. But I stick that microphone on him so I'm not like, this, because that's weird. So I get the genuine reaction because that's what people love. That's the real. Like if you shtick it up, everybody knows this is fake. And people make fake videos to like get views or whatever. So I just hang back and I just let him do his thing, and I can hear everything, and people don't know that I'm right there because people get nervous when there's a camera. So I just hang back and I just film, and he's mic'd up because I know that these reactions happen. And if I tell you that same reaction has happened 1,000 times, you'd go, no way, that was too good. It happens every day. Every single day. I mean, you go to the supermarket with this guy, the checker's like, hey, don't be nasty. And he comes over, he's like, what's up, perro? He's like, hey, bro, I love your shit, man. Like, you get me through the week. I laugh. He's like, that's it, dude. Like, thank you, and there's a genuine positive reaction. But you can't go 20 steps at one of these tournaments without somebody coming up and be like, dude, I love you. And every single person gets that same interaction that you saw with that kid. But you'd run out of film if you filmed them all,
It's so cool. So what kind of, now that you've got such a wide reach, what's that done for the club? I mean, because you guys have how many active members?
Well, now we started in LA, obviously, and then we're here in Vegas now, and we have 50 guys here. And then we started Central Florida last month. I mean, this is within the last 3 months.
It's all been happening.
And I expect that it's going to just go nationwide. But I'm not trying to like make this McDonald's. I don't want to make this McDonald's. The reason that Tropicana works, like I said earlier, is the guys and the girls. We have a mix. But people want to feel like they are part of something genuine and something important and something valuable. So if I just spread it all over, what's the point?
Right.
I'm killing it. I don't want that. I'm not interested. I didn't start this for a monetary dollar amount. I value it myself. I value it because this is what I was looking for. I was looking for more people to play golf with. That's the only reason that this thing exists. And I think that now it's not just golf. These guys are inviting each other to their weddings and parties and social events, and everything that we do now really is all Tropicana based. I had my friends from before Tropicana, and not to say we're not friends anymore, but I do everything with these guys.
You have a brotherhood now, too.
Everywhere we go. I mean, they're all out here. I have an event for the Vegas chapter, and everybody comes because we love it.
It's a trip to Vegas.
I don't give a if we go to the middle of nowhere and they go.
Yeah.
Because you're with your people. So it doesn't matter if you go to the worst place on earth or the happiest place on earth. If you're with good people, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And we have a blast. And I'm not going to sell that out to just for what? I need it in my life. So I'm not willing to sacrifice it or wash it out for a dollar amount. And the people that I put in charge of these other chapters, like Nahani and Chris Torres and Zach Weber in Florida, these are guys that I know will uphold and keep the Tropicana, let's call
Brand.
it a vibe. It's not a brand. The vibe alive, and I need that, because if not, it's not worth a thing, you know. And Nike's a brand, and Nike puts out shoes and this and the other. I'm not. They try everything because they're trying to sell.
Right.
I don't want to sell anything other than more people, good people. If you're not a good person, or you're interested in your exposure, then I don't need you, nor do I want you.
I love that. What are some of your least favorite things about golf, or do you have a thing about golf you would change if you could?
About golf? Yeah. I'll tell you what I would change about golf. I would change the attitudes. First of all, you're no good at golf, period. There's people that are good at golf, and they will tell you, I'm not that good. You ask a real, even a tour pro, are you good? What's he going to say? I have my days. There's guys that are amateur golfers that think they are good.
Right.
Bro, you're not. You're not good. And you probably will never be good. And that's okay.
And you'll appreciate the game more if you just accept that.
The best players in the world will not tell you they are good. Why are you trying to tell me that you are good? You're not. Stop with the attitudes. Stop with the club throwing. Stop with the tantrums. I can't stand that shit. Dude, you're paying to be here, pal. Have a good time.
Yeah.
I know golf is frustrating. But don't ruin your day. And most importantly, don't ruin your playing partner's day.
Yeah.
If I'm going out on a Saturday, I've worked all week at some bullshit job, doing some bullshit thing, taking bullshit from, and I want to go out and have a couple beers and play some golf, and you're having a fit? Come on, man. Come on. Not only did you ruin your day, now you ruined my day. And that's that's what I hate most. Just some days you're good and some days you're not. And who gives a shit? The worse you play, have a couple beers, relax. It's going to be okay.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
This
it's
game's
going to be
supposed
okay.
to be fun, damn it.
Yeah, that's what you're here for. You are paying to be here. I got guys throwing clubs in the lake. I got guys making club marks in the green. Get out. Get out. I don't want to see you. That's a child. You need to. You're a grown man, man. Like,
Yeah.
Come on. So you missed a putt, or you hit one out of bounds. Okay, who gives a shit?
Right.
What are you playing for? Your life? Are you playing for the security of your children? No, you're not even playing for $20. Who cares? So that's the worst thing about golf is the attitudes, the tantrums. You have one responsibility when you play golf. One. That is to provide a positive and fun environment for your playing partner. And I promise you, if you try to do that and you support them and you're positive in your own shots and their shots, you're going to play so much better. It's called a vibe. You ever played with a person that's pissed off? Oh my God.
It's hard.
I walk. I go, you know what? I'll meet you at the green. I got 7 clubs like that. I don't even want to sit in the car with them. You're a child.
Yeah.
So that's the worst part about golf.
What's your favorite thing about golf?
The people that are opposite of that. The fun. I don't listen. Golf is a game, and yes, there is an outcome, and yes, there is a strategy, and you want to do well. But the people that are positive and fun, no matter what, like if you laugh at a bad shot and everybody laughs, it's great. You're the first one to laugh. Everybody laughs and goes, cares. So you don't have to be a good golfer. You just have to be a fun person to be with. That's the best part. And when you get a good group together, I don't remember what I shot yesterday, but I had a great time with my group. Right. I can't tell you. The guy that was in my group won the tournament. I don't even know what he shot. I can't even remember. But he was such a good dude. Brought cigars for us. My riding partner, Mateo, was great, positive. He hit some bad shots. I hit some bad shots. Everybody hit bad shots.
Mateo's awesome. Mateo from Vegas?
Yeah. Mateo.
Yeah.
Mateo and Victor Sanchez. And then we had Sean from Las Vegas National. And it was so positive, and it was just what it's supposed to be. You know, we're out there playing 4.5 hours, whatever it was. Yeah, everybody hits bad shots. Who cares?
So your answers to both are just people's attitudes.
Exactly. If you have a good attitude, that's my favorite part. If you have a bad attitude, that's my least favorite part.
And that's probably the same way you feel about life, I'm guessing.
Yeah. People that are just salty, and I don't need that. I don't need it, and I don't want it. And you know, it's okay to be funny and bust balls and make jokes, and we do that all the time. But if you are angry, it's just not, it's not good. And there's another factor where people blame other people for their bad results in life and in golf. It's like, dude, come on, man. You're the one responsible here for everything that you do. Every single thing in this world is your fault. Unless you get struck by lightning.
Right.
Everything. You get fired, you fail a test, whatever, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's only you to blame. And that translates to the golf course for people that, you didn't help me find my ball. Get the out of here.
Yeah. Those are wise words.
Yeah.
What about golf consumption? Do you now follow the game or the players? Do you have favorites? Do you just watch majors? Do you not even really pay attention to those?
I'll be honest with you. I love the game. I hate the players, and I think this is entertainment. This is, I believe, supposed to be a show. And yeah, I don't want you acting like a clown, but there's a way to have a conversation that is presentable and enjoyable, the same way we are.
Right.
These guys sit up there and they go, so how'd you do today? Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, come on, man. Come on.
Right.
Like, have a little something. You shot 63 today. How do you feel? Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing about golf. I mean, some of it is also focus, but you're right. Athletes in other sports even tend to show more of their character and the game of golf. Some of that is tradition, but some of that's too buttoned up, right? We talk about that a lot on this show.
Well, I think and everybody hates this, but I think Tiger is the one that changed golf from a fun game to now a jock sport. Before that, I mean, you'd have Arnold Palmer and Lee, and these guys are drinking at the table.
We talk about it all the
on
time.
The golf course, and that looked fun. You watch these guys today, and you're like, oh. Man, they're grinding out there. That doesn't look fun.
Right.
And I get it. It's their profession and they want to do well and it's cutthroat. But, dude, like, it's okay to just relax a little bit and, like, hey, guys, thanks for interviewing me today. Or, hey, you look nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'll come back tomorrow stronger. Shut the
Yeah.
So
no, I think that's awesome.
I don't follow that. I don't know. I mean, I know that there's some players that are really good, but I'm not a fan of the hissy fits and the serious attitudes. It's not entertainment to me.
I love that story. I love your story because one of the things that I say a lot on this show is that there are two kinds of golfers, it seems. Not to stereotype too much, but there's a new golf is what I call it, and there's the game and the purists, and
100%.
and I love the mixture because they are different.
Yeah.
And that's so fun. That's actually going to take us to the end of the first segment of the show. The second segment is a number of questions we call the par five. We ask the same 5 questions every week, come up with some different answers, and it's normally a good time. So you ready, Jimmy? You going to tee it up?
I've been ready.
Question number 1. What's your favorite golf movie?
Golf movie. Everybody says Happy Gilmore, right?
We get a lot of Happy Gilmore.
I guess Tin Cup is second.
Yeah, we get a lot of Tin Cup.
And Caddyshack is third.
Caddyshack. Early, we got a lot more Caddyshack.
Okay, well, here's one that you've never heard. My favorite movie. And this is entertainment because if you watch it, it's a movie. So Shell used to put out Wonderful World of Sports Golf. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Shell's
sure.
Wonderful. So I watch those on YouTube. And they're movies. And there's one Dean Martin's playing Sam Snead in a match at Lakeside. And the comedy and the show in that film is so good. It's so funny. You know, they tell Dean, Dean, you're playing a professional golfer today, and how do you think you can win? He goes, I do know that I can outdrink them. And they're like, oh, no, we met in golf. And he goes, yeah, we're playing golf. So he's just hammered, and that to me is more fun than like a scripted movie, but that's entertainment.
Dean and Sammy is so perfect. Sammy Snead is so funny. I need to watch that. I've not seen that.
Shell's
you can get that on YouTube.
World. Oh yeah,
You're all gonna want to go watch that.
And like Trevino plays, and there's a one with Ben Hogan and Jack and Arnold. Like it's all these guys, and they're all mic'd up, and it's a real golf match. But it's entertainment.
They had that idea 40, 50 years ago. That's awesome.
Oh, these matches that you see today that are incredibly boring and nobody cares, watch those. It's like 3 cameras, you know. They're like,
yeah.
And there's a guy like, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pebble Beach Golf Links. We're here with so-and-so. And the guy's like, yeah. Well, we had a good one last night, and everybody's hammered, and all the people in the audience. I mean, you could see their regalia. It's like 1966. They look awesome. So that to me is a golf movie.
What a great answer. We do get. That's the third or fourth that we've got that I hadn't heard about, and I've been going back and watching them, and they're all great. Those answers that come up out of nowhere
watch
are
those.
fun.
Yeah, and there's thousands of them. Thousands. Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. It's unbelievable.
That's great. Question number 2. What is your favorite club in your bag and why?
Oh, and I can answer this honestly. Recently, there is a company in my area that created a 69-degree golf club. And I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it
sounds like a gimmick.
Shtick. Dude, this thing is so clutch for me. I don't hit a lot of greens, so I'm around the green often. And that's always been tough. Like, what do I do? Am I going to run it up there with a 56, and then if I blade it, it's gone? Or I'll take a 60, but it's a short shot, and then I chunk it. Like, you have to be really good with a lot of clubs in the general area of the green.
Right.
This thing, I just take a half swing back and a half swing through, and it does everything I want it to do. And I know it sounds like an ad, but anybody that plays with me goes, what the hell was that?
Well, let's shoot them out. What's the 69-degree
club?
So
it's 69 degree by 69 golf. 69golf.com.
It sounds preposterous.
It sounds ridiculous, but he brought it to me. I go, this is a joke. And then I used it, and I go, oh, my God, this is incredible. And I'm telling you, ask anybody that plays with me, and they go, dude, it's insane what he can do with that club. And I practiced with it for 2 hours, and I go, I got it. And now I don't give a damn if I'm 250 yards out or 150 yards out. And if I miss the green, I know I'm getting up and down every single time. So he brought me the club. He's like, can you just try this and see what you think? I go, yeah, when I have time. And then I had time one day. And I was like, oh, my God, this thing is fabulous. So I go, I got to get involved with you. Like, I love this. I need another one, and I need another one, and I need another one just so I never run out. So he goes, yeah, sure. So I started working with them. They set up a thing on their website so Tropicana guys could get a discount. And I think it's by far my favorite.
That's great. Yeah. I can't wait to have some of the Tropicana guys on and ask them stories about you hitting that club.
Ask them. It blows their mind every time. They go, son of a bitch. I'm off the green, 20 yards off the green, 30 yards off the green, 8 yards off the green, and it's 2 feet every single time. And I don't have to think about it. It's marvelous.
Great.
Marvelous.
Question number 3, my favorite question of the show. What's your dream foursome? So I'm going to give you any 3 people, alive or dead, that you get to go play golf with. Who are you picking, and where are you going to play?
Are we playing golf?
You're playing a round of golf.
Okay.
You don't have to pick golfers.
No, I wouldn't pick any golfers. Well, maybe, yeah, I would. Okay. Any golfer, alive or dead, in whatever era that
or any friend or any family member. I want to hear
Okay.
who's your dream foursome.
Okay. I would play with 1965 Dean Martin. I would play with 1983 Lee Trevino. And my third one, that's a tough one. I think those two guys would
It's so good.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I don't want anybody new. I'm not interested in anybody new. I think, and they don't have to play golf, huh?
No.
You know who I would like to see out there too? I would like to have Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow, good answer.
So me, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Dean Martin, and Lee Trevino.
Yeah, you think you could sell? You think you could sell that YouTube video?
I think that would work. I think that would work.
Great answer. Question number 4. What's your aiming fluid on the golf course? So when you're out on the course, what are you drinking most often?
Alcohol.
We get that answer a lot. We get a lot of water and Gatorade, and we get a lot of alcohol.
Okay, this is how it works, and this is what I prescribe to you at home. So immediately you have to start with a Bloody Mary. Not too spicy, because we don't want any accidents. We don't want any accidents, Jed. So it's a Bloody Mary to start. This is for a morning round. I'm going to give you the entire day.
Great.
Okay. So we start with a Bloody Mary, and that's, or a Bloody Maria, which is tequila.
Preferred.
Okay, so let's go with the tequila.
Great.
Okay. Now, once we get going, I always have a Bloody Mary before I even start. And once I start, I don't like to have a Bloody Mary on the course because it's...
Well, I was going to say, let's talk a little bit before we get to the itinerary, because the reason the question's asked is some people play better after a couple.
Yeah.
Some people start drinking when they feel like they're not going to chase a number anymore,
Okay.
and they're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
So do explain how that it interacts with your game, because I'm sure they're tied.
Well, I think that you need to be loose the entire time, and I don't chase numbers, as you say.
Right.
I just chase a cool buzz,
Yeah.
Like you want to be chill the whole time. I'm not a frat guy. I'm not shotgunning beers. I'm not screaming, let's
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
go. I'm not, I'm not doing that. So I stay away from those kind of drinks. And if you do, well, hey, but I've passed that part in my life.
Right.
So I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that's gonna be chugging these whatever they chug all day long and
Right.
they got all over their shirt. They're flowered,
Correct.
flamingo shirts with pelicans and dragons on skateboards. I'm not that guy. So I start with my Bloody Mary. As soon as I get there, boom, I'm having one, and I finish that before I start. Second or third hole, I'm not pounding. I don't pound. I just chase that chill vibe. Jameson Ginger goes from holes 2 through 7 or 8. At the turn, Corona or Modelo, and a shot of tequila blanco chilled.
Let's go.
Okay, so that gets me through 13. Now I've already broken the door into the tequila. Okay, so now I stay with about 13 or 14. If I see her again, we're doing tequila blanco neat on the rocks with a little lime juice. Okay, and that gets me through 18. When I get into 18, I go back to the shot of tequila, one more shot, and just a tasty, freezing cold beer.
Perfect.
And that's my day. So you have, 5 drinks. I'm not hammered. I'm good. And then we're good for the day.
You're always vibing.
Yeah.
And you're a cigar guy on the course too, right?
I am a cigar.
You enjoy a cigar every once in a while or every round?
Sometimes multiple per round.
Yeah.
I smoke Nobleza Tobacco, which is a Nicaraguan cigar that my friend created. This is another genius
shout
of
it
a
out.
guy.
That's what this show's for.
So he was like me, that he enjoyed like the barbershop. I loved the barbershop vibe. I loved it, and it was ruined for me. So I started my own. This gentleman loved cigars, and the cigar experience and the cigars that he was smoking were ruined in his mind and in his taste. So he decided, I'm going to start my own cigar company. And he realized that a lot of these companies, which most people don't know, a plant or a farm produces the same cigar for multiple companies. So they own a farm, and they produce for 5 or 6 different companies. So all these companies are smoking the same cigar. They just put a different label on it. He's like, I don't want that. I want my own or nobody else. So he bought a farm in Nicaragua, runs it, got a guy from there that said, this is how we want to do it. And the guy's an expert, and we don't want to produce for anybody else. And people hit him up all the time. Hey, can you make us cigars for this company? And he's like, nope. I am Nobleza and Nobleza only. So I value that. I think that's very, very cool that he was able to do that and take something that he loved and make it his own, and he won't back down for anybody. So noblezatobacco.com, get yourself some cigars. They are the best I've ever had. And, you know, I don't have one
there's
here.
One right there.
No, this is a scorpion that somebody gave me yesterday. Look at the size of this thing. Yeah, Rick Probst bought me. This is a gag, you know, obviously. So he's like, hey, I got you something. And I was like, oh, my God. So I just stuck it in here. But I'll probably still smoke it. But Nobleza Tobacco is the real deal.
You guys are idea men. You know, you wanted a place to get your hair cut that you were comfortable in, so you built one. And then you wanted some guys to play golf with, and so you went and got them. You put a golf simulator in there and went and found them.
You got to build it. If you build it, they will come.
Question number 5, the last question of the show. Are you, I think I already know the answer to this, but are you a club thrower or a club snapper? Have you ever broken or thrown a club?
I'm not going to tell you that I haven't, but it's been a very, very long time. Very, very long time.
I'd just like to hear the story of what got you so frustrated.
I've never snapped one because I'm cheap and like I would never break a club because then I know I have to buy it. I don't understand that either.
Right.
Like, you're already paying to be there. Now you're going to break a club, you idiot. Now you got to pay for come on.
Rebuy a club.
You stupid moron. So I've thrown a club, and then immediately I'm like, oh, my God.
Hate yourself.
What a, like, what a sissy. That's a bitch move, a sissy move. Like, dude, you missed a shot in golf that I don't even remember the shot. If I missed out on $1 million free throw, I'd remember it forever.
Right.
This is a putt to shoot 97, and I'm pissed. Get lost.
Yeah.
You know, like, who cares? So after that, I don't remember doing it more than once. I do remember that I had a weird feeling afterward of like, oh, my God. And the worst is watching someone do it. You're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
Weird son of a bitch. Like, stop it. Just get back to your car and finish your beer and don't be boosy.
Jimmy, this was a pleasure, my guy.
Thank you, Jedrick.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be back next week, so we'll see you then. And until next time, hit them straight from your friends at Angel Park. Cheers.
Thank you very much.